Hello, welcome to From My Heart to Yours. Pull up a chair, comfy chair, grab your favorite drink, and let's have a conversation. So today my conversation is with Noreen D'Onofrio, and she joins us and can't wait to talk about her. She has a lot to share. She's an angel mom, and I'm happy to say a friend of mine. So welcome, Noreen.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you're here, and I know you through grief, and that's our connection. So you lost your only child, your daughter, your beautiful daughter, Crystal. And what I love is for you to share a little bit about Crystal, some a happy memory that warms your heart. Will you share about Crystal and share a picture?
Okay. This is Crystal. Oh boy, we have a storm, so the power is surging. So this is Crystal, and she's my only child, like Mary Beth said. And Crystal is a beautiful human being inside and out. And she had a lot of friends, and people were always migrating to her. She had an infectious laugh and had a way of making people all feel special and valuable. And she just made everybody feel important. And it was a quality, and you could just hear her laugh and just did so much for people. You know, she protected the underdog, protected people that had less or, you know, handicapped or whatever. And that's one of the things that I loved about her was her heart. She had a huge heart and loved her family and her son. And what else?
That's beautiful. And I know from getting to know you over the past couple of years, how much in common you and your daughter had. And the love, definitely, I could sense and feel the love that you had for your daughter, for Crystal.
Yeah, I was her biggest fan and crazy about her. And you know, her and I was a single parent for 8 years, and it was just her and I for those 8 years in the beginning. And we were very close. And, you know, Crystal lost a daughter, and then my husband passed away from lung cancer. And, you know, she just never really came out of that. But she, you know, her and Frank were very close, and, you know, my husband who passed away, and we were a lot alike. We were, you know, very much alike. Everybody says we look like sisters or mini me, but you know, we did a lot of the same things. We both loved family. We both loved to cook, and I miss her terribly. I know she's in a better place, and I'm really happy she's out of pain because she really, really struggled.
So
But
her struggle was with substance use disorder.
Yep, Crystal. I believe she was taking my husband's oxys when he was dying of cancer. They were at his bedside, and I think that's really where it started. She had dabbled in high school, but when Frank was dying, and like I said, when she lost a daughter too, she really struggled. And I think that's when the pill problem started, and then it went to heroin. And she tried really hard to get out of the disease. I mean, we were in and out, went to a dozen treatment centers and detoxing, and she'd come and stay with me. And, you know, she tried really hard. I would cry watching her because she would detox herself and go through the shakes and all of that stuff that goes along with being sick. And so I know she wanted it. I know she wanted to be clean. And, you know, she had 4 months clean when she passed.
How old was Crystal when she passed?
34.
34. And how old was her son at the time?
I think like around 10.
10.
And yeah, he's 16 now, just turned 16 in April. So he's driving. But I mean, she was crazy about her son. I mean, just they did the mommy and me classes and went everywhere with their son, and other moms that, you know, they'd stroll their kids together and, you know, do luncheon with 3 or 4 moms with their babies and you know.
And it's devastating. It's absolutely traumatic on you losing a child, let alone losing your only child, and somebody that you had such a close bond with. It's traumatic.
It is.
So
It
in your
changes your
grief,
life.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
So it's been, you'll be going on 5 years coming up.
November.
So in the 5 years, can you share a little bit how grief has affected your health? How you felt maybe in the beginning to where you are now in your grief journey?
Well, grief definitely takes a toll on you. I feel like it's aged me a lot. It's a very painful journey. And when I say painful, I mean physically as well. It's a very physical pain in the heart and in the gut. And, you know, I have just learned over the years how to channel my grief and my pain. I've learned that helping others and gets me out of my own head. I think being, you know, I know we say we're part of a group that we don't want to be in and nobody can relate unless they've been there. And it's kind of the same with us moms that had an only child, because it's, you know, we lose them and we're never going to hear the word mom again. We're never going to celebrate a child and a mother type of activity or whatever. It's the same kind of feeling that unless you are a mom that has lost your only child, that you couldn't understand the emptiness and the pain there, because it is a very empty, lonely feeling. I'm good with self, but I feel lonely a lot. You know, I'm around people, but it's a lonely feeling. And I thank God for my faith, because I don't know how some people survive this without having a faith. It took me a while. It took me about 2 years just to be able to pray again. And I was angry, but I wasn't angry at God. I had a trust issue with God. And in time, I've developed that back and then some. I feel like I'm in a better place than I was before Crystal passed. I believe she's on this journey with me, just like Ryan is with you on the runs. We're doing this with our children and they're out of pain. Sadly, we have taken some of that pain, but
And I hear what you're saying, and it's so true. The different layers of grief. In the beginning, we're grouped together, moms who lost a child. And then I think over time, when you start peeling the layers, it's you lost your only child. You lost your only daughter, you know, the different layers of it. And
sure.
Others who can relate to your experience have that similar bond, just like parents who have lost 2 children. to this.
Mhm. Exactly.
And we have no idea what we're going through because we haven't been in their shoes. You know, the similar shoes
Mhm.
are that where moms who've lost a child to the disease of addiction or one-time use. Those moms too are
Sure.
in our grief journey along with us. And as you've come out or as you go through your journey, grief journey, you've had tremendous growth in what you do in helping others. So want to tell us a little bit about your Facebook page that you started, Good Times Remembered, and how that came about and who it's for?
Well, Good Times is a lighthearted grieving group. When I first came into this club we don't want to be a part of, I was in a lot of grieving groups. And then as I started to grow and heal and have acceptance and heal, these groups started to be a little too heavy for me. There was a lot of anger and depression and just pain. And I found that
Oh, no.
uh,
Okay, you're back.
yeah, my phone rang, sorry. Figures. So I those groups were great for me coming in, but then I needed something lighter. And I started Good Times because I wanted to remember the good times of our children. I wanted to talk about them and, talk about their favorite color, their favorite song, what they like to do, and remember the good times. See, post photos of the good times, and it's a great group. There's a lot of love and a lot of support and encouragement there, which is really what I was looking for. And
So it's a public page?
say it again.
Is it a public page?
It is, and some moms aren't happy with that, but I believe that it's important for us to spread the awareness and share our angels, share what we're going through, what we've gone through. That's if nothing changes, nothing changes. If we don't do anything, all of us moms that have lost a child, most of us have done something, whether it be, Crystal's Heart Healing House or making graphics for other people, or Ryan's Run or Prisms or whatever, all these different things, that events and fundraisers, wearing t-shirts, it's spreading awareness. And that's what Good Times is doing. I want people out there to know this could happen to anybody, to you, to, it doesn't matter where you're from, what your education is. And Good Times does that. It gets public people to come in and read.
And what I like with the group too is it's not specific to just moms.
Sure.
Gives dads the opportunity, and there's so many single dads that are walking in the same grief shoes, and they need a place to go.
Yep, we've had a couple dads come to the retreat. We also have some siblings on Good Times. I really wanted it to be for parents, but I had some siblings message me and ask, could they join? Absolutely. What am I going to say? No.
Interesting how it evolves.
Absolutely.
I think it evolves how it's supposed to. I think we plant the seed and then it grows accordingly. And I know what you mean about a public, because the From Project is a public page. And I found exactly the same thing as you. In the beginning of the grief, it's heavy. And those groups are perfect, to help you, guide you, and support and comfort you through that. But sometimes it's like you reach a point in your grief where you want to go through it a little bit differently. I think you want to go through it differently, and you want to find the joy of our angels. We're left behind, and we're doing everything we can to make sure they're remembered. So you mentioned, and I can't wait for you to talk about you started Crystal's Heart Healing House.
Mm-hmm.
So share with us how that started, and you have a picture to show.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to do something. And I went up after her celebration for life. I went up to our family home in Georgia, North Georgia mountains. And I'm a Florida girl. I'm not used to seeing snow. And it snowed everywhere, beautiful, 6 inches. And it was like, I was walking around giggling and crying at the same time because of my grief and the beauty of what I was seeing. It was just such a cleansing thing. Well, in a few days, the snow melted and a single heart, this is a snow heart that was left in the tree that my daughter left. I know my daughter left it. And you can see the sun behind it, almost as if to illuminate it as well. And when I saw that heart, it was like the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. It was a miracle. I believe it's a miracle. Hence the name Crystal's Heart Healing House. That's where that came from. But the house is it's a family home that is a retreat anywhere from 2 to 4 times a year. And it's 5 days where us moms and dads, we've had several dads, couples, not single dads, but single moms and couples, where we meet face to face and we connect on Messenger before we even get to the retreat, and we get to know each other. And by the time we walk in that door, we already know why we're there and we've already connected. And it's like, I don't even know how to describe. It's almost a euphoria. It's like relief and joy at the same time. And there's pain, but at that moment, it's not painful. We do some groups where we talk about grief, we talk about healing, we talk about our angels. That it does get a little painful, but that's part of how we grow and heal. And then we have art therapy. We do a rock garden where we paint rocks and put our angel's name on it, maybe a little message or their dates. We have a rock ceremony where we lay all of them out every retreat. We did the balloon release, biodegradable balloons, and we write messages on them and release them. Those are 2 of the most emotional things that we do as far as like an event type thing. And then we go downtown and we hit the antique malls and we walk around and pass out cards and talk about our angels. We wear the shirts. So we do some awareness there too. But the retreat it's in a beautiful area that's all nature. We have deer all around. We have hummingbirds and birds, and it's just so beautiful. It's a wraparound porch with swings and rocking chairs, and all the rooms are private. It's just a beautiful place for healing, and it takes us off Facebook and puts us face to face, heart to heart, which you taught us. It's a really special place. And I think the homey atmosphere and cooking together and sitting at the dining room table together puts us in a totally different type of retreat. It's very homey and we feel like family. I mean, we're sister mamas, but this place really makes you feel like family.
I have to say, on a personal note, I was lucky. I got to go to the first one, and it is, like you said, you laugh, but when you walk in, it's amazing the connections that were established before you even physically met. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I know you. And it's a very intimate setting. And I love that because you're able to really connect with somebody. You're not lost in a huge group. You're able to get to know everybody on a group basis and an individual basis. And healing occurs. Healing occurs day to day through the different activities and interactions that happen throughout the retreat. And it is a beautiful, beautiful area. Beautiful area. If I could sneak up there in your car again, I'd be there. And it's true. And I mean, the walks, the deer, it's very relaxing. Very, very relaxing. And what's wonderful about the retreat is you do things at your pace, you know, you never pressure anybody to do anything they're not comfortable with. Everybody really, you may walk in a little scared at something new, but within minutes you're comfortable and you don't want to
Minutes.
leave. Yeah,
Yep.
you don't want to leave. And I know even cooking together, it's just you had things that brought people together in different ways, and we did
Mhm.
things, group work, you know. And
Yeah.
then if some of the dads were there as the couple, they were always offered to join, or they could do their own thing, but it was always comfortable, and you felt the angels there, you felt their presence.
You
And what's
do.
by talking about them, you got to know each other's angels a little bit more. You know, you went in with your angel, but you left with at least, 8 more on your back.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
That's what's great. You walk out knowing it's like we really become sisters, and it's like your son has a part of my heart too, and everybody, we all get to love each other's angel and get to know them like intimately. We hear stories about them, and it's almost like we feel like we know them or knew them, and that's
it
what's cool
becomes
about
it does. It becomes personal, where you're
it.
able to share personally things that you may not have wanted to share on Facebook, or that people may not have read it the right way on Facebook. But what's
Hmm.
wonderful is you walk in, there's no judgment. We're all there for the same reason. There's absolutely no judgment from the minute you walk in to the minute you leave.
Hmm.
And that's wonderful
And
that you do
that's
that.
the other thing. On some groups, there's no place for judgment um, of any kind. We have been through such a horrific thing, and all we should do is love one another. Something Al-Anon taught me years ago: you may not like all of us, but you will love us in a very special way, the same way we already love you. And I feel that way about Angel Moms because my empathy, my pain allows me to have empathy for you and every other parent that has lost a child. And it's that heart to heart connection. We are connected by the heart when we lose a child. And there should be nothing but love and encouragement and support and, all good for each other, and I do want to have an alumni time at the retreat for all of the first ones that came. I think it would be really good for all of us to get back together, and I've developed some very strong, close bonds and friendships from that retreat that they're just priceless.
And I have to say, from my own experience, I know, and I admit, I was resistant to some of the things at the retreat. And one of them was hearing about Al-Anon and then faith. I was resistant. And
Okay.
it took me time afterward to address it to myself and realize those were words of wisdom. And I really left, it took me a little bit of time, but the spiritual end of it impacted me more than I thought.
Well, you said it earlier. We plant a seed, and that's all. And then it grows, and other people water it, and other people fertilize it. And you hear, take what you like, leave the rest, and it grows.
So
And
I love that I took it with me.
Mhm.
I took it with me, and then when you digest it a little bit, and then you think about it, it's just it the seed started growing, and I really appreciate the opportunity I had. I love the experience I had. What I'll do is I'll post in the comments information about Crystal's Heart Healing House, about Good Times Remembered. I'll have contact information for Noreen. If you have any questions, take advantage if you can about going to a retreat. It's to, if you can help your heart heal a little bit, that's a wonderful blessing you'll have in your life. Our hearts are forever broken, but when you find a way to have it heal a little bit, that's okay. It's like a stitch is in there. And you're not ever, ever leaving your angels behind. They're always coming with you. They're always with you.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And I'm so glad I was able to talk to you and hear about all that. So as we wrap up, I like ending with a positive thought. So do you got one you'd like to share, Noreen?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I thank you for the opportunity. I feel really honored to share our story, and especially during the month of August, Overdose Awareness Month. It means a lot to me. This is another picture of Crystal with the Overdose Awareness ribbon. And I'm going to show you one more thing, her little memorial. And, you know, if we just keep on keeping on and keep doing what we're doing, we'll make a difference. It's a slow pace because of so many facets to the disease, but you know, every day, all of us moms doing little by little, we will make a difference and touch lives. And that's all we can do, and turn something tragic into something good for the greater good. So thank you for having me, Mary Beth.
You're welcome. You know I love you.
I love you too.
So, like I said, I'll post information in the comments. There's so much more I could say. And what I want to do is make sure that you see Ryan. I am forever Ryan's mom. That's my kiddo. Mwah. And from my heart to yours, I can never do this on my screen. So from my heart to yours, I'm sending you love, hugs, support, and compassion. I am forever Ryan's mom. You can find the From Project on Facebook. It is a public page. You can always send me an email to thefromproject@gmail.com. You can ask any questions. Well, if you need information, just let us know. And like Noreen said, we support each other. We are on this path together. You know, we all are at our own pace. It's not a competition, but we support each other. So we're sending you love. Right. And until the next time, so I'm going to go back in my comfy chair. Love ya.
Heart to heart. Love you too.